Santana XXL. How are you?
I'm good, Santana. How are you?
I think that you create some of the best content online. It's very innovative, and you absolutely, represent a demographic of Black gay men or gay men, period, who don't who generally don't get looked at as sexy. Where does your confidence to represent our plus size brothers in adult entertainment come from?
I wanted to represent for my bigger boys in gay porn because bigger boys are not really shown in gay porn. It's not something that people talk about or see in the gay porn industry. And I wanted to show that we could do this. Like a big boy like me, a black big boy can do porn and make great content and people will love it and stuff like that. And for me, it wasn't easy in the beginning. Like it wasn't easy in the beginning. I've been making content for almost 10 years independently by myself for 10 years now. And it has grown into this thing, this very good thing that I didn't think that it would become. Like now I'm transitioning into studio, more studios are hitting me up to work with them and film with them and stuff like that. And I feel so good for a studio like men.com, which is one of the top gay porn studios that you could ever film for, to include a plus size big boy in their shoots. And I'm the first and to be nominated for multiple porn awards. I've been nominated for 13 porn awards. That has never been done for a plus size black boy. You know what I mean? There has never been that at all. And then when you think about the straight porn industry, it's very different because BBWs, big women, big beautiful women, they are loved in the straight porn community. Like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But in the gay porn industry, it's like, oh, we don't want to see that. It always has to be the fit guys, either the twinks or the muscle men and stuff like that. And I wanted to show that we could do it too, and we could be confident and stuff like that. Because in the beginning, I wasn't as confident in the beginning because people were very mean to me.
Mhm.
People were very mean to me. They said I wasn't going to make it. They said that I was never going to sell. No one was ever going to like my content or anything like that. And I wanted to show that that's not true. I'm going to prove you wrong. So that was the whole driving force behind me starting content because off camera, I always had a man. Like I always had men. I always had dick and all kinds of all beautiful men. I've been with beautiful men off camera. So I wanted to show that big boys can get a man. Like you know what I mean? Like we get men too. We get hot men too. It's not always like the certain type of guys that you always see on screen or on camera because that's I'm showing you my real life. That's the type of guys you see in my videos are the type of guys I'm in my personal life.
Well,
So I wanted to show that because people think when you're a bigger guy, it's no way you can be with this guy that look like a model or whatever unless you're paying for it because you're a bigger person. That's the way our society works.
yeah.
They feel like there's just no way that you can. No, a lot of hot guys, a lot of your favorite guys behind the closed doors, low key, they love a big boy. They really do love a big boy and stuff like that. And they be in our DMs too. So I wanted to show all that.
You talk about gaining the confidence. You obviously maybe have always been a sexual person.
I'm not hypersexual, but like I know how to take snatch shows. I know how to take snatch shows. I'm not
What is
hypersexual because
snatching souls?
like sucking the soul out of somebody. You know what that is. Like when you sucking the soul out of somebody, you sucking some good dick and they start shaking and their eyes start rolling in the back of their head and stuff like that. Yeah, that's called snatching their soul. I do that every day.
I think what got a lot of our attention was doing the car videos where the guy sits in the passenger seat, and we have seen you, collect souls in the passenger seats. And
Mhm.
so where did that idea come from, and what was the initial responses to those videos?
It was actually with my boyfriend in the beginning, like my ex-boyfriend at the time. And we shot a video in the car, in the front seat of the car, whatever. And I didn't even know the shit was posted. I didn't know that he was gonna post it or anything at all. And the first time it dropped on XTube at the time. XTube was no longer here, but it went viral on XTube, and it had generated over 1 million views in like 3 days. And I was like, ooh, I didn't know how to feel about it at first, and I was like, I think we on to something. So I just kept on putting out videos like that, and they just kept going viral. It kept going viral the more and more I kept putting out. So, and it was just easy to do it in the car because you could get it in one angle, one take, easy edit, boom, and it worked. Like people loved it. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why I kept doing it in the car. It wasn't no particular reason. It was just very convenient, very get it done and all kinds of stuff. It was just easy to do it in the car.
When y'all do it in the car, where do y'all park, like behind the Walmart or outside the
No,
police station? Where y'all be at?
it'd be like a regular parking lot. Not a particular parking lot. It's just being a regular parking lot.
Have y'all ever, have y'all ever got caught, like had somebody walk up and see y'all?
I had a cop did come by one time, a long time ago though, a long time ago, and he asked us, "What are we doing?" And I was like, "Nothing." He was like, "Why are the windows all steamy?" I was like, "Oh, nothing." But after that, he let us go and we continued. He did not care after that. I was like, what's the point of even coming up to the car if he wasn't going? Like, but that was the only time. And then it was some people that would watch. And I'm like, I don't care. I kept going.
What is it about some adult content creators who like to get caught?
It's like a thrill for them. For what I hear, they just enjoy other people watching them, like random people watching them. So that's why they do it. That's what I've heard. So, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't purposely do it for anybody to watch me out in public or anything like that. But some people get an enjoyment out of it. So I don't understand that, but okay, it's whatever you want to do.
Let's get back into the confidence aspect of it, because you have more than many adult content creators and porn stars that we see.
Yeah.
And so, as a plus size brother, what was your process, of developing confidence as a sexual being, as a plus size brother?
For me, it's more so of I'm going to show you that I can do this. I take the negative comments and I take the negative things that people say about me, and it just fuels me to show them that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it just fuels me. It drives me to keep going and showing and stuff like that. Because a lot of people, there were people in the industry, like other adult content creators that were successful at the time years ago, told me, "Oh, you should just quit. You're not going to sell. No one is ever going to like you." And it was a lot of people that were mean to me and very disrespectful to me. Used to leave me negative comments, and some of these people were big names at the time.
Name one of them.
I'm not gonna name. I'm not gonna name them. I'm not gonna name them and stuff like that. But when they started seeing me, like dropping content, and they seen how viral it was going, and then when they started seeing that I was getting nominated for porn awards and all this other stuff, some of them came back and apologized to me for the things that they said. Some people, it was quite a few that came back and apologized for the negative things that they said about me and some of the things they said to me. And there are some others that's just like they'll always hate me for now. Like, you know what I mean? There's some they'll just be like, no. But it is what it is. And it's definitely a bias. It's definitely a bias. And I ain't gonna lie, like most of the hate I get is from other Black content creators though.
Other Black gay content creators.
Yeah. It comes from that. And it's always a discussion about my content. It's never about how good my content is. It's always talked about is my size. Like that's the problem. Like that's what they always want to focus on instead of the content that I make. You know what I mean? Or they'll get mad at so and so for working with me, or why are they filming with Santana? Why are they filming like people? It gets like that sometimes. It's been like that in the past, but those negative things fuel me to keep going because I'm going to show you that I'm going to do this. I'm going to be successful. That's always what I had in my head. Like, okay, you saying I can't do this, I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm going, and all it's gonna do is piss them off. You know what I mean? And I'm winning in the process. So it's like I'm gonna show you. So that's where my confidence come from because I just love it when people doubt me because I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to show you that we can do this. And it be so many big boys, other big boys that come to me and be like, "Thank you so much for representing us and showing us that we can do this." And I really appreciate this because there are a lot of other big boys that want to like create content. They want to be an adult content creator, but they tell me, "Oh, I'm scared because I don't want to get the hate. I don't want to get the backlash. I don't want to be picked on every day and stuff like that." And I'm like, that comes with it. Unfortunately, it comes with it sometimes, but you just got to take it and roll it off your shoulders because you're going to have some people that just going to have a problem with big boys, especially within the gay community. And the gay community is so much hate around big boys. Like, you know what I mean? So that's where my confidence comes from. Like, I'm just going to show you I'm going to do this. I'm going to be successful, and you're just going to watch me do it.
When we talk about the gay community and we should focus on I think the Black gay community because that's what we are a part of. We are a community where people value being accepted, loved for who they are. And when you talk about the backlash that you get sometimes from people who aren't able to understand your expression and your confidence, uh,
Mm.
why do you think that is that so many of us we want love, but we aren't able to give that same love to other people, regardless as to how we define beauty?
I think a lot of it is internalized hate. I think
Mm,
a lot of it is internalized hate. Like you have people that has never had a conversation with me or talked to me or anything, but you judge me based on the way I look and you automatically hate me. Like I would never understand it. Like you don't like me because I'm a bigger person, or you feel like I'm not desirable, or you feel like I just don't look the way that you like. I'm not the cup of tea you are. Just because somebody is not your cup of tea and you don't like the way they look does not give you the right to disrespect them.
right.
It doesn't give you the right to disrespect them, but some people it's just something that they do. And I think a lot of it is internalized hate and
So
hatred.
they hate themselves so much and they haven't accepted themselves to a point where they project that outwardly.
Mhm.
Santana, how did you learn to love yourself?
I always looked at it like if you had a problem with yourself, work on yourself, but love yourself at the same time. And how I learned how to love myself was not caring about what other people think and focus on me and what makes me happy and what I want to do and stop worrying about all the negative things that, people say about me or try to do to me or try to bring me down and stuff like that. So I would just focus on me and what I want to do and what makes me happy. And I'll just roll with that. And that's what made me love myself even more. It wasn't about how the way I look. You know what I mean? Like I love the way I look, regardless how anybody else feel. I love the way I look. You know what I mean? But there's gonna be other people that have their own opinions about that and stuff like that. And I think that everybody else needs to love themselves. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. A lot of people don't love themselves, unfortunately, and that's why a lot of people are very negative towards other people.
Thank you for sharing that. Let's transition back into uh, the achievement part of your journey that you're on, and that is transitioning from independent content creation to men.com.
Mm-hmm. Um,
What made you decide to go to the studio and are you still going to create independent content?
I'm gonna always do independent content. That's never gonna stop for me because that's how I started, and I love doing independent content and stuff like that. When it comes to studio stuff, I had no real intentions on doing studio. I never even thought that I would even be asked to do studio work because, like I said before, when it comes to big boys and plus size boys, we're not always asked to do those types of things. For a long time, they would never show us on any of those platforms or ask us to film with them. So when men.com reached out to me, I was shocked. I was really shocked because that has never happened before. I was like, is this a joke? Like when they reached out to me, is this a joke? Because I'm like, there has never been any black plus size boys, big boys filming for a major studio. Like men.com, men.com is one of the highest, biggest porn studios that you can ever film for. You know, it's owned by A-Lube browsers on the straight porn. You know, browsers when the girls and the guys and stuff like that, they're owned by the same people. So when they reached out to me and said that they had a concept for me already, they had a script ready for me and everything. It was just a matter of if I was willing to do it or not. So, you know, I was calling some of my studio friends, my porn friends and stuff like that. I was telling them like, oh, men.com wanted to create something with me and they reached out to me and they wanted me to film for them and stuff. And they had a title of it, and the title of that scene was called Gobble That Cock. So I was nervous at first. I'm like, should I do it and stuff? And for me, it wasn't about the money. It really wasn't about the money. It was more so about representing for my big boys because it was a big thing. Like I was just going through, like, oh my god, oh my god. I was just shocked that they reached out to me, and everybody said, "Oh, you should do it. You should do it. You should do it." But then there were some people that was like, "Oh, you shouldn't. You're bigger than them, and um, you make more money on your own, and all this other stuff." And I understand that, but I also it was for the representation, and I just wanted to represent for my big boys. So I said yes, and they flew me out there and everything. They took care of me real good. I filmed that scene and I liked it. I enjoyed every part of the studio. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the professionalism. I enjoyed the acting and stuff. Because I always wanted to do some like acting. Like I always wanted to do that, and it gave me the opportunity to do that, and I enjoyed it. And after we was done filming, I wanted to do some more scenes. I was like, you know what? I like this so much. I like this so much that I wanted to keep doing it. So when they reached out to me and stuff, and I did it, I liked it. And when it came out, because it came out in May. Um, I had one of the biggest debuts of 2024 for men.com.
Wow.
And that scene, and mind you, being the only first plus size boy that ever done shot major studio porn, now it's being expanded into a multi-series now. My series is being expanded into a multi-series. So we're doing like, I think they're gonna do like a few parts. So that's why I'm flying off to San Diego tomorrow actually to start filming the other parts to Gobble That Cock on men.com. So I'm excited and I love it. I love the studio. I love it. I love the whole process. Some people have different stories on it, but I enjoyed it. They took care of me real nice. They was very nice, very polite and everything.
What is the difference between doing independent versus the studio experience?
When it's independent, you're doing it all yourself. Like you're doing everything from the filming, the booking, like who are you having in the videos, editing, promotion, all that, everything falls on you when it's independent content. And when it comes to the studio, they do everything. Like they do the filming, the editing, everything, book the talent, everything. They even fly you out. They put you in a hotel. They feed you. They do everything. Provide transportation and everything. So it's very professional. And when it's a studio like that, it's big budget. Like it's big budget scenes, everything. So like I liked it. It was different. So that's the difference between the two.
Okay, I would imagine in the studio it's probably a longer work day.
Yeah, it's so some shoots can last between 6 or 8 hours or
Oh,
more, depending on what kind of scene it is.
okay.
Depending on what kind of scene it is. Like a typical scene, um, with just you one person can be like 6 hours or 8 hours. And that depends if you don't have extras on set. So some of the sets might have like you might have oh, your sister in the background or something like that, cooking or something like that. And you gotta wait for them, or they're not showing up, or you gotta change the shit. It's a lot, but I like it.
The storyline might be like your sister's in the background cooking and y'all sneaking and doing it while she baking cookies or something.
Yeah, like gobble that cock. How that, but yeah,
Okay.
I like that. Yeah.
What gives you the pride to do it? Because I mean, of course, it comes with there is a certain stigma that can come with working in adult entertainment. People can be very judgmental, even though they're consuming the content. And
Mm.
so, where does your pride to be able to do it and be unashamed about it come from?
The financial freedom, the freedom every day to have your own business, to do whatever you want to do, to live your life and not have to feel like you have to punch in at a clock every day and you have your own freedom to do whatever. It's the independence of it all. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, like it made me more confident because I'm a person that do social struggle with social anxiety. It took a lot for me to like go to these big events like the porn awards and walk the red carpet and stuff. It was a lot for me. Um, it just made me more confident, and I wanted to get out of my shell a little bit more into doing this, and it taught me how to be um more confident in everything. So that was a big part of it too, and in the financial freedom and the freedom of being independent and everything else.
How does your family feel about it, or do they know your family and friends?
My sister knows, my brother knows, my cousin knows, my dad knows, and my mom knows. My dad don't have my dad doesn't care. My dad says, I don't know what you I think because he see the money and he like, I don't know what you do. He say I don't know. He ain't say I don't know. He just won't ask questions, but he said, whatever you doing, keep doing it. He said,
Okay,
keep doing it. And then my mom, she's like, she don't care no way. I mean, she didn't care because I bought her a house. So she wasn't like, so she was just as happy and everything. And then my sister, she was like, oh, I want to be your manager. I want to be your manager. And my cousin, she'd be like, I want to be your manager too. Can I be your assistant and stuff like that? So they don't care. My sister kind of want to do it, but I'm like, I don't know.
you ain't trying to see that.
No, because my sister found out on accident. I accidentally sent my sister my porn by
Oh.
mistake, But I couldn't take it back. So what? You got to roll with it. You got to
Have
roll with
your
it.
have your parents seen it too?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they probably have, but they're not going to say anything. They don't care. My family is very supportive. They're very supportive. They very supportive of everything that I do, and it's no problems at all.
It sounds like your family has also been very supportive of your sexuality in general.
My mom, and my dad has a gay brother, so he's used to being around other gay men and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Do you think having a supportive family has helped to keep you healthy on this journey as well?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because unfortunately, some people don't have that support. Unfortunately, and I'm very blessed to have that support from my family. You know what I mean? So it has definitely helped me through everything to have that support and that love. So yeah.
We see a lot of, well, not a lot, but we have seen enough of our favorite adult entertainers um, suffer challenges later in their careers, health challenges, drug challenges, that sort of thing. How do you stay healthy on your own? Like when your family's not around, when it comes down to you navigating the journey on your own, how do you stay healthy?
I think it's important for all creators to make sure they take breaks. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm,
This business can be very tiring, toxic, and all kinds of things. And it's important for me, what I do, take a nice vacation. Take some time away from the computer, but not too much time. But take enough time for yourself to get yourself together, to get your mental health right and stuff like that. And that's for me. I like to take trips to go on vacation, maybe take a cruise. I love cruising, and that's how I get it. I take a step back from social media when it comes to adult work. Take a step back, take breaks. That's how I do it, and I try not to. I try to keep toxic people away from me because
yeah,
sometimes people in this business can be very toxic and they can be into the wrong things, and that can rub off on certain people. That can rub up on you
really.
sometimes. Yeah, it can rub up on you because some creators, some adult entertainers get into some stuff, and you hanging around them, it can rub off on you in a negative way. And sometimes you just got to keep people at a distance so that way you don't get involved in all that stuff.
When you say toxic and when you say things that can rub off, you mean like drug use or
Yeah, because that happens well, I've heard that that's a lot of that goes on in the business.
Mhm.
A lot of that goes on in the business and stuff like that. And people want to do what they're going to do, but it's like it's just better to distance yourself from that so that way it doesn't rub off on you. Because if you hang around people that's doing that kind of stuff all the time, eventually, as time go on, some of that is going to rub off on you. And for me, I try to stay away from that. Minimize who you hang around with. You know what I mean? Distance yourself from that and take your trips, take your break, take the time, whatever you need and stuff. That's what works for me. I can't speak for everyone else, but that's one of the things that work for me.
being in the adult entertainment industry? What have been some of your biggest lessons?
Know where you stand, know what you want to do. Um, surround yourself with positive people in the industry. Be consistent with your work. Know that where you want to be in the industry, where do you want to be in the business and stuff like that, and stay positive. Be kind to everyone, because that's another thing. Because people in this business can be very mean and they can be very rude and stuff like that. And I'm just a positive person, so like I try to surround myself with other positive people. So learning, that's what I've learned. Like, you just got to stay positive. Just stay positive, do you, and know where you want to be.
Navigating STDs and STIs.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best way to navigate around that as an adult entertainer? I would
Well,
imagine there's a level of fearlessness in some ways.
for some people it is, some people it ain't. But I feel like proper sexual education is key in this business for anybody, actually. But especially if you're going to be in this business, you have to be properly sexually educated. You can't be out here just being reckless. You have to know what you're doing, and you have to get tested regular and stuff like that. And that's what I do. So properly sexually education.
Do content creators and studios share test results or
Yes, yes. Well, for studios, you have to get tested normally 2 weeks before shoot,
okay.
and when it's time to do a studio shoot, most of the time it's like we sit at a table, and it'll be like the producers, the directors, and the other people that your co-star who you're filming with, and y'all go over a list of things which you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with, and you exchange test results and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how it works. And even with content for independent content creation, people should be sharing their test results. That's normally how people do it. So we share our test results in filming, probably leading up to like the actual filming and stuff like that.
And that also includes like whether somebody's on prep or whether they're undetectable or negative or any of that sort of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. As a content creator, even working in the studio, what are some of your deal breakers? Like, what are some things you absolutely will not do, and what is something that you do want to do?
I don't have a long no list. I don't have a long no list. Like when it comes to like filming, only thing I won't do scat play. I won't do anything with blood or anything crazy like that. Like
What is scat? Like jazz?
like a shit play and stuff like that. Like some people, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Some people are into that. That is a fetish. There's actually a place like that does allow that, called dark thing. But that's a thing. But I don't get into that.
There's a
That
market for that.
actually, believe it or not, that it is. Like you got people. People get mad at me for being a big boy, but they got content out there like that where people eating plates of it. Like, and y'all mad at me for being a big boy doing what I do, but go off.
They eat plates of it.
There is content like that. That's a fetish for some people. Some people are into that.
What is a turn on?
And some people got fetishes like that. Some people got fetishes of people vomiting on people and all kind. Yes, yes, that is there is a site for that. Like there is a page site where people can go and do that kind of content. It's just like OnlyFans, but it's for people who like that type of content. It's a market for that.
Okay, so when we talk about fisting, scat, and y'all just heard he don't mean jazz, he mean playing in crap. Um, Piss play, vomiting, all that type of stuff. You draw the line on those.
Yeah, I draw the line on that. Definitely, I draw the line on it. But like, that's pretty much it. Long as it's not no like, like blood and all that other stuff. I don't
What
have no.
what what about like race play?
What I do that now? I wouldn't do that. That doesn't really come up a lot in studio porn, unless it's like a studio known for doing something like that. But like most studios, they don't. That's not really a thing in studio porn. Like big studio porn is not really a thing. It's like the smaller studios might engage in it, like the smaller studios, but big studios they don't typically have. That's not really a thing for big studios or anything like that. And then there might be some independent content creators that do get in it, but they don't necessarily say that that's what it is. But there are some people that really engage in it though, and willingly engage in it. So, but in studio porn, it's not really much of a thing like that.
Just out of curiosity, because I mean, you work in the industry, and I came across some race play on my special Twitter. Where I go look at all that stuff at. What is it about race play that turns people on?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea. I guess that's what their personal fetish is. From what I've heard, it's it's a fetish like everyone else's fetish. That's what I've heard. So I don't know. It's not for me,
Right.
but there are some people that just have weird fetishes like that, and there's some of the things that turn them on, I guess.
What is something that you want to try? Do you want to do a scene where you're doing like a threesome or an orgy or outside or
Well, I'm about to do a threesome soon. While I'm in Cali. But I want to do a bukkake scene. I would love to do a bukkake scene.
what is bukkake?
It's like a whole bunch of it's like a whole bunch of guys, like 20 guys, and they're just nutting all over your face and you sucking their dicks. Like that's really what it is.
You want to
I
do a
would love to do
bukkake
that.
scene?
I would love to do that. I would love that's an expensive scene for a studio to do. So if you ever see a studio that has the bukkake scene like that and it's a big studio, that scene was expensive. Because the more people are in a scene together, the more expensive the shoot is. So I would love to do that. I would love to do that.
What kind of guys do you like?
I don't have a preference. I like all types of guys. When it comes to like filming with guys and stuff, I want the guys that's the most confident and comfortable with me on camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I don't really have a preference on the type of guys or anything like that, but I like all guys as long as they're respectable and comfortable with me. I'm it.
And that's in regular life and on camera.
Mhm. Because when people do shoots and stuff and they find people to collab with and work with, they pick people based on their own personal preference.
Yeah.
Me, I have a love for all different types of guys, and you got to understand, like, there's people are into different things, so why limit yourself to one type of guy? Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like you should be open a little bit more, like when you're filming and stuff, and stop including your personal preferences when it comes to filming and stuff, because you got different audiences for different things. Like
Yeah.
people don't understand, like when a model guy come film with me and stuff, it just brings a different fan base for them because they film with a bigger boy. I have a big boy following in a following where guys like bigger guys too. So you gain that audience when you work with me. Like you know what I mean? So I feel like other people should, open up for who they want to shoot with and stuff like that if that's what you want to do. But I have a love for all guys though.
You mentioned your fan base. Looking at your fan base, I know it's big boy lovers, but do you like notice maybe you have like you know, women in your audience or like married people or swingers or that sort of thing?
Yeah, that's the thing. You you know how many you know how much when females message me and ask if they film with me? Or they ask, yes, that's the thing. I have females that actually subscribe to my page, couples that subscribe to my page. I've had people reach out to me, and I mean, straight couples, married couples reach out to me and stuff, and they said, "Well, we would like to meet up with you and film with you and all kinds of stuff." Yeah,
Would you
hmm
do it?
I would. I would. I
Okay.
haven't, but I would. I would.
What makes good sexual chemistry in a scene?
What makes good being comfortable with each other. I
Yeah,
feel like that's the big thing. Like if you're not comfortable with somebody or filming with somebody, then that's going to translate on screen.
yeah.
I mean, so being comfortable and confident of the person you work with is a big key. You know,
What makes good sex? What, not just good sex, what makes great sex? How do you know you have had great sex? When two people walk away from a situation, in your opinion, how do you know y'all just did that? Even off camera, like say in just the bedroom.
when I'm about to cry afterwards, when I'm about to cry afterwards, but yeah, like I feel like that does make it simple for me because if I'm about to cry at the end of it, it was good. Like it was really good. So for me, and it's only happened a few times. Like when it's like real,
Where did the tear? Is it from toe sucking or
like it's so like it's hard to explain it. Like it's so good that you know it's rough too, but it hurt at the same time, but it feels good at the same time. But it's so passionate, so good, and stuff like that. That's great sex to me.
yeah?
When you about to burn a hole through the ground and all that, that's great sex to me.
Where is the most interesting place that you've had sex at?
The most interesting place on the beach in the
On
Bahamas.
the beach, y'all got sand all up in y'all nooks and crannies.
Yeah, I didn't like that too much, but it was still good though. I enjoyed it.
What beach was y'all at?
We was actually like I said it at the Atlantis, so it was there at the reef.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay. Last question. You know, you have definitely built a very admirable platform, and I would even say empire as an adult content creator.
Thank you.
Where do you see Santana ultimately?
I want to do more studio. I plan on to keep. I plan on to do more studio, and I would like to win another award. And be nominated for more things. Because I've only won. I have 13 nominations, but I've only won one award out of the nominations. But I would like to win another one. I
Okay,
would
what
like.
was that award?
I won a Flesh Spot Award back in September of last year.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So that's what I would like to do, and I like to create content and keep on doing my thing and staying in my lane, you know, and piss the haters off at the same time.
Thank
And I want to get into some more acting. I want to do some more acting because I'm really enjoying it. I really want to get into that, like the step into that, like outside of porn, like you know what I
you.
mean. But that's pretty much it. I'm just enjoying what I do and representing for my big boys.